Well, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land, where we take a look at those top stories making headlines here in Israel every Monday to Thursday. And I do it in the best ever company, the company of my Israel Briefers. So welcome to new community members. And I just want to say on a personal note, thank you to all of you. From Georgia to Scotland to South Africa to the United Kingdom to Oregon and everywhere in between. Thank you for the beautiful messages that I received yesterday in support of the work we do here, in support of everything I do on the Israel Brief. And I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So here's to a brilliant 2025. It is day 453, and I'm sure you all join me in praying for the immediate release of all of our hostages. Now, before we get into the headlines, just a reminder that if you have a question you would like answered in the question section of the show, please pop it in the comment section or be in touch with us via our website. And also a reminder, it's Wednesday, which means I need your mentions and your morons of the week so that I can announce them tomorrow for Thursday. There's quite a few ideas buzzing around, but I like to include my Israel Briefers. So send me your morons and your mentions. Let's see who makes the cut for the first week of 2025. On with the show, and our top story goes to the issue of whether or not we have reached an impasse on negotiations for the release of the hostages. Yesterday, I brought you the story that Hamas was refusing to release 12 of the hostages presumed to still be alive. They said they were prepared to release 22 out of the 34, along with the corpses of hostages that had been taken either dead on the 7th of October or were killed in captivity. Now, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that the reason that there is an impasse is that Hamas have now gone back on their word that they will accept a partial or staged withdrawal of IDF troops from the Gaza Strip. They are now going back to the original demand of a complete and immediate ceasefire. President-elect Trump has issued yet another warning to Hamas, saying that the hostages better be released by the time he takes office on the 20th of January or else. Rockets were fired towards Gaza-enveloped communities last night as the clock struck 12. This is probably the fourth day in a row where rockets have been fired from the Gaza Strip. Now, I know many of you are wondering, how on earth does Hamas still have rockets? Well, as I said to you guys yesterday, it shows you just how entrenched, just how many tunnels, how many weapons facilities there are in the Gaza Strip. If you listen to military experts who have been inside the Gaza Strip, their evaluation is there is not a building, not a single home, mosque, school, hospital, shop facility that does not have some kind of tunnel or some kind of Hamas operation existing underneath it, which explains the level of destruction that we are seeing above ground. It's absolutely terrifying. Meanwhile, the IDF said today that they had destroyed a weapons manufacturing facility in Rafah, and during the process they had discovered long to medium range missiles. COGAT, that is the unit of the IDF responsible for humanitarian aid and coordination of humanitarian events in Gaza and the West Bank, have announced that 127 Gazans, mostly children and their caregivers, had been evacuated from the Gaza Strip via the Kerem Shalom crossing and onto the United Arab Emirates, where they will receive medical treatment. Now, Kogat have said that this brings a total of 1,055 patients and caregivers who had been evacuated from the Strip in 2024 to 13 different countries receiving medical treatment. Now, for anybody out there who is accusing Israel of genocide, does a country committing genocide make sure that those who need medical treatment the most are able to be evacuated to countries to receive much needed medical care? And finally, let's end today's bulletin on a positive note. And Israel's agricultural ministry have said that for the first time, 90% of tomatoes consumed by Israelis are being produced domestically. If you recall, on the 7th of October, Hamas destroyed a lot of agricultural areas, and the communities in kibbutzim that they invaded and whose people they murdered or mutilated or kidnapped were responsible for largely being the bread basket, the food basket of the country. That particular area of what we call the Gaza envelope, which is part of the Negev desert, is prime farming agricultural country. So it's really, really great to see this. And what many people don't realize is that in the months following the 7th of October, there were no staff or farmhands to tend to the crops, to pick the crops, to make sure that people in Israel had food to eat. A lot of people from around the world came and volunteered their time, and if you are one of them, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Your efforts ensured that we could put food on our tables. A lot of people have been speaking about the situation in the Gaza Strip, and rightly so. But what many people don't realize is that for months, Israelis also didn't have as many fresh products, as much food, and faced a lot of empty shelves in our supermarkets as well. And it's something that people need to know. We are also affected by the brutality of war, physically, financially, and emotionally. So it's great to see that our agriculture in the south is starting to surge again, and the ministry have announced that they have expanded the growth areas along the Gaza envelope as well as in parts of northern Israel. Now, with Hezbollah firing rockets and drones and anti-tank missiles to our northern communities, a lot of the agricultural land there has also been destroyed, and slowly we are starting to see farms start to put themselves back together, start to rebuild, start production, and a lot of Israelis are trying as much as possible wherever they can to support tourism in the north of the country. And I want to appeal to you, if you've got any plans to travel this year, please consider Israel. It is safe to travel. Should there be rocket attacks, we all know what to do. We make sure that everybody is safe, but we really, really need the tourism. So if you've got plans to travel, please consider visiting us here. And now for our audience question, and it comes from Stephen Wheel, who actually doesn't have a question but wanted me to touch on a story that was making headlines in the United Kingdom. The World Bowls Tournament, I think I got that right, they disinvited 3 Israeli participants from their World Championships to be held in Scotland later this month. Now, this resulted in public outcry, and UK lawyers for Israel contacted the WBT, telling them that this was illegal. They have since reversed their decision to disinvite the Israeli participants and have apologized sincerely for any offense or hurt caused, and said that they are now working with partners to ensure added security. Now, I'm glad that Steve has brought this up, because what we are seeing is an alarming trend, not just in the United Kingdom, but worldwide, where Jewish businesses, Jewish artists, authors, sportsmen, Anywhere that we participate, we are slowly being cut out and eroded. Many people claim security issues, but a large portion of this is, comes from extreme pro-Palestinian groups who are using the tactics of intimidation and threats against venues and against organizers should they have Jewish, not just Israeli, Jewish participants or Israeli participants in their events. But this issue with World Bowls goes to show that if you have enough public pressure, we can withstand the intimidation and the threats. So those are top stories making headlines. Guys, don't forget to send me your mensch and your moron. Listen, we've got more than a few contenders for morons. Let's be clear about that. But in the meantime, don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook page is at Lottel's site. Like it, share it, invite your friends. Our YouTube channel is right here at the Israel Brief. We are on X at Lay of the Land 5, on Instagram at Rolene_Marks, on LinkedIn at Rolene Marks. And all that remains for me, guys, is to wish you a wonderful 2025. Happy New Year. God bless you all. Let's make this a huge success for the Israel Brief. And take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.